And what's happening is she's passing that exhaustion through into her baby. Possibly also a sense of relaxation. She's now relaxed in the shade. She's happy feeding her baby. And so she relaxes, and he gets the relaxation and he gets the tiredness. So he's getting the milk, here's the milk, but he's also getting his mother's feelings as she feeds him, and her feelings at the present moment. So the child is nourished, and I think he's also soothed. You know, it must have been awful when he's being attacked by the flies. And because he's soothed, the milk is described as a drowsy stream. In other words, it's putting him to sleep. The word you need here is soporific. That means putting him to sleep. Notice it's not the milk that's soporific, it's he who becomes soporific. So this is also a transferred epithet. An epithet is an adjective. It's transferred from what it should describe, which is the baby, to the milk. Why? Because it's emphasizing the effect of the milk on the baby. It makes him go to sleep. His flesh imbibes, takes in, absorbs. And what does he absorb? An old, unquenched, unsmotherable heat. It is the curbed ferocity of beaten tribes and the sullen dignity of their defeat. So if you look at stanzas 1 to 3, we get this person observing. I thought he was up somewhere. He observes the Zulu laborers. He then is much closer as he watches the mother under the thorn trees, and he's like right down here, close to the mother and the baby. And he can even see what the mother is doing. And we think, oh, this poem is a simple, rural description. What a lovely poem. The group of workers, the mother, the baby, apart from this terrible heat, it all looks very peaceful. Yes, she was irritated by the heat, but she's now settled down. She's feeding her baby. Isn't this such a beautiful, simple description of Zulu people working in the fields? No, it's not. And how do we know it's not? Because of that word yet. This is giving us the turn. This gives us the change. Now we're being warned, hang on a second, this is not actually this tranquil scene which we thought it was at the beginning. This mother and this baby, this whole scene is disturbed. And so we remember the heat of the beginning of the poem, the sweat and the heat and the oppression. And we now get the baby is absorbing, taking in a whole lot more than his mother's milk and his mother's relaxed tiredness. The baby is getting the heat, which is unquenched and unsmotherable, and it's the heat of the tribes. So these lines, the mood changes. This is ominous. This is threatening. Now let us see why that is so. The child's thirst is quenched, right? He's happy and he's going to sleep. But what cannot be quenched, and normally in English you quench a thirst, is the heat of the rage, the anger of a beaten tribe, which can never be quenched. If you put a fire out, you smother a fire. The rage of the beaten tribes can never be smothered. And after the dash, the speaker gives us an explanation of what this fire is. It is the fierce nature of a warrior people who have been oppressed. Their Zulu's dignity, their pride, and even when they have been conquered, they are still dignified, they are still proud. This fierce. Ferocity is fierce. This fierce fighting spirit. Oh yes, it might have been curbed by whites, by colonialism, by police, by war, but this warrior nation, though it's been defeated, the spirit remains. And that spirit cannot be quenched and cannot be smothered. And that's the spirit of this fierce Zulu dignity and this fierce aggression that the mother is passing into the baby along with the milk. And so we come to the last stanza, and we've got two pictures. Her body looms above him like a hill. So we've got, let's just try and draw this. We've got the mother sitting there, and the baby is in her arms. Okay, so she's holding her baby. Her body looms above him. Picture one is the hill, and picture two is the cloud. So let's look at the hill. Within whose shade a village lies at rest. So let's draw that. We've got a hill and a village here in the land around the hill is your little village, and it lies at rest. So the hill is big in size, and it is protective in its purpose and function. And the village lies at rest. It is at peace because it knows it's being protected. So in each simile, the mother's body is seen in relation to the baby. So this is what you're looking at. But notice, if the body looms above him, now our perspective is the baby's. So if you go back, I said the speaker was up there on the hill, then he came down. Now he's actually looking up at the mother from the baby's perspective. And so this is the mother as a protective, nurturing force in the baby's life. The second simile is far more ominous. Watch how you spell simile. And I've said that it is ominous. This is a threat. This is bad, but it's not bad for the baby. Let's try and look at it. We've got a cloud. Okay, so draw a cloud. Okay, it's very still, it's very quiet. It bears the coming harvest. What does a cloud bear? What is the harvest of a cloud? It is rain. But is this an image of gentle rain falling on the ground and the plants growing and everything being happy? No. Look at the word terrible. This is not gentle rain. I think much more of hail than of rain. This is going to be a violent and destructive storm. Now, is it violent and destructive against the baby? No, 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 no. Because look at it. When we drew the hill, we said the hill is the mother and the village is the baby, right? So if the cloud is the mother, what's the baby? The baby is the violent storm. So this cloud is going to unleash its violent rain and hail and whatever else you can imagine. And that's going to be the baby. So against whom is this harvest going to be unleashed? And the answer, of course, is white people. That white people who think they have curbed and controlled and restrained the Zulu spirit are going to learn in a violent bloodbath. Look at that red, hot red acres. The blood of whites is going to be shed when Zulu people rise up again with the warrior spirit and reclaim what is their own. And it's ominous, not for the baby, it's ominous for whites. So the message of that stanza is not that the mother is going to hurt the baby, but the mother is going to unleash the baby as a destructive storm against whites. Whites have seen themselves as conquerors. They've crushed the Zulu people. They've stamped out the Zulu spirit. And the message of this poem is, no, they haven't. It's still there, and it's being passed from mother to child. and the Zulu people will rise up and there will be a bloodbath. Look at all the red images. Yes, it's fire, it's violence, it's war, it's also blood. And white people will have their blood spilt when black people rise up to reclaim what is theirs and to reclaim their dignity, their pride, their spirit. And that takes us into the themes of the poem.